In the previous video, we exported our data from Desmos because we desired to have a clean, presentable graph with the labels and with our error bars present. We exported it into a Google Doc. And at this point within my lab report, I would either already know or I would notice at this point that my data appears to not be linear and it appears to have a square root function shape. So I need to linearize my data. So within Desmos, it is very important to know within Desmos that it does not like you or allow you to easily change the independent variable, but it does allow you to easily change and alter the dependent variable. Now you're going to hear me say today, this is going to be the only time that you should be altering the commands down below. When you linearize your data, this is the only time. So how do I linearize data that appears to have a square root function shape? So I go back within my notes, and I notice that with a square root function shape, to alter the dependent variable and not the independent variable, I want to square my dependent variable while leaving my independent variable alone. So back within Desmos, I'm going to square my dependent variable. So I can just easily do that by d, that's what the variable I used here, squared. And it fills in this column for me. Now I do want to unselect my original data. Now I need a column for my uncertainty. Before I do this, anywhere down below where you see the letter D, we now want to replace this with D squared, since this is our new dependent variable. So anywhere where I see a D, I need to write it as D squared. Now I need to have a new column up above for my uncertainty in D squared. So I go through, I can use a simple letter. I'm going to use a command here. So typing in the command for the uncertainty in D squared. There we go. And it completes this column for me. Now, I either use a single variable and type this in from my Google Sheet up above, or I can just do what I did here. Now, anywhere where I see a, where I have a V down below, because that was the uncertainty for D, anywhere where I see a V down below, I need to replace it now with my new command, which is to, there's that. There's another V I need to replace. Anywhere where you see a V, you need to replace it now with whatever letter you use for the uncertainty or the command that you used for your uncertainty. So whichever approach that you take here. So we have this. Now you notice I have this random set of points down below, and the reason is because I need to unselect my column for my new uncertainty. I need to unselect that column. As we learn below, we can zoom fit our data, and we have a linearized data set. I do need to change my labels because this is now final velocity squared. So that would make my units meters squared per second squared. So I make sure you keep that in mind that you need to alter your labels and your units here with whatever you do. And then we are ready to export this graph. So we export it the same way below, same way as you did before. Someone do medium, having a sure large square that looks presentable. I want to download that. I now go to my Google Doc that has my lab report. I want to insert a drawing carrying in this new graph, labeling this new graph, and I have my new data. Let's spell it right. So keep in mind, I also need to place on here on a best fit. I hit save and close, and we have our data.